So a few months ago, I was on this date with a guy, and he was telling me how he was afraid of the end of the world, and not in this kind of, sci-fi way, but just the simple fact of human waste and the mistreatment of the planet, global warming, all these things. And I was kind of surprised that this really preoccupied him. And it got me thinking about perspective. Let's talk about it. I personally approach the topic of perspective from a relativist's point of view, where I do believe in the concept of the absolute truth, that there is, quote, one truth. However, I believe, and from what I've observed, I think you will believe this too, or it will resonate with you, that none of us actually see the truth or get to the truth, because we all perceive the truth capital T's, from a relative perspective. From a subjective perspective, we are observing the objective. Objective, subjective. So let's say that there is, for example, an elephant. I love this elephant example. I use it often. So you have this elephant, okay? And now you have two people that come. Imagine that they've never seen an elephant before. You have person number one, person number two. They go see the elephant. Then they go back to person number three. Person number three asks them, "Oh my God, you saw an elephant? I've never seen one before. What does it look like?"
Oh, it's interesting. There's this long tube thing that moves around that comes out of the front, center area. And it's got bones, these long tubular bones curved coming out of the mouth area. I think it's the mouth. There's a gap, I don't know, and it opens sometimes. Sometimes the tube makes noises. It's vuvuzela types. It's really loud. And it has a few hairs at the top part, and there's big, large, flappy things on the side. It's giant skin or sails that come out of the side of it. It's really strange. And it's got these two, I think, eyes, and they their eyes, they look. So yeah, it's a weird creature.
No, that's not at all what an elephant is.
What are you talking about?
It's these two, I don't know, drumsticks that are taken together as a giant butt, I guess. That's how I would describe it. And there is a little tube thing, but it's really small and has hairs at the end of it. And it flaps around. And there's really bad smells that come out of it. I mean, you do not want to be around it.
No, not at all. What? It had two giant legs, right?
Yeah, two giant legs. And there are no eyes. There's no giant tube. There's no flappy things on the side. I don't know what you're talking about.
Are we talking about the same thing?
Elephant. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm gonna let you two sort this out. So what you basically have is one person that was standing in front of the elephant and one person that's standing in the back of the elephant. They're both right in describing the elephant. And they're both arguing for their perspective, their vantage points, their points of view, which were different, but of the same thing. So that's why I say that there is an absolute truth, which is an elephant, with all of its sides, under, over, side, front, corner, back. You can do a 3D sketch of an elephant, and then there's inside the elephant. Oh, let's not even go there. And then you have everybody, people, and we all get to see a few sides of the elephant, but we rarely, if ever, see all of it. Ever. That's how I see the truth, and that's how I see relative perspective. So no matter what you're going through in your life, what the event, the person, place, thing, whatever you're observing, whatever you encountered, you have a perspective, you had a vantage point, maybe many perspectives or vantage points. Maybe you have more information than others, but it's very unlikely that you have all of the information, that you have all of the knowledge, that you have everything that you need, and that you remember it all accurately, because memory is another thing that gets in the way of perspective. Not only is perspective and perception selective, but so is memory. So it's just like layers and layers of miscommunication, misunderstanding. And here we are, people arguing for their points of views, but we're all arguing the same thing in different ways. And not only is it a question of the vantage point, but it's also a question of the observer. The observer decodes and colors the results. I'm thinking of that optical illusion, which was this viral picture of a dress. Some people saw it black and blue. Some people saw it white and gold. Same dress, one photo, two different perspectives. A lot of people saw that picture of the dress going viral a few years ago and they just didn't think much of it. I was blown away. The philosophical implications behind it. How are we like 5 people in one room and we cannot agree on the color of this dress, even though we are all looking at the same thing? And then I really appreciated the notion of differences in perspective. Like a snowflake, like a fingerprint, it is unique to the person and it's not wrong, it's just different. Not always easy to understand. 2 people can be in a room, one person is cold, the other person is hot, just based on chemically how we're each made differently. I mean, if you show a video of a couple having a conversation and you show it to a man and a woman, I'm pretty sure they're going to have very different interpretations of what just happened. The same conversation, because of their differences in sensibilities, sensitivities, experiences, just a lot of inherent differences are going to make them see the same thing, pick up on different pieces of information, and decode it differently, draw different conclusions, even with the same piece of information. Glass half empty, glass half full. Same glass, 2 ways of looking at it. So it's interesting because the truth is out there. What I mean is that there is always information being emitted, but we're not always receptive to it. Kind of like colorblind people that you can look at an object that is emitting colors, but they won't see all of them, or a radio. A radio is receiving all frequencies at once, but what they translate to you is one frequency. Imagine if the radio actually hears all of the music at the same time, all of the frequencies, all of the chatter. It's just like, ah! So what I've gathered from this is that a person's receptivity, how much you can take in, how much you're capable of taking in, and how much you are formatted to take in, and a person's knowledge base goes into taking in information, deciphering it, and drawing conclusions. Furthermore, it gets even more complex. We have moods as human beings, and these moods are basically frequencies. We move about on different frequencies at any given moment. Sometimes you're high flying, you're happy, you're on a high vibration. Sometimes you are low frequency, low energy, stuck in a low vibration. And that also changes the way you perceive the world, the information you gather, the information you pick up, and the conclusions that you draw. Just by the mere fact of how you are tuned, the radio frequency that you are dialed into. Crazy. It's kind of like if I tell you, okay, I want you to look around you, find everything that is yellow. Now you are tuned to the yellow station. Boom, yellow over there, yellow over there, yellow over there. I'm seeing all the yellow. Oh, I didn't even notice that it was yellow over there. And now you're seeing things that you didn't necessarily pick up on because you're tuned to that frequency. That's kind of like when you're in a bad mood and you're just like, ugh, life sucks. Now you're tuned to life sucks. Now playing, and you're gonna see the way life sucks. You're gonna see somebody, I don't know, cutting somebody off on the streets, some kid kicking a cat, or someone pushing an old lady, or somebody's just gonna like take your seat on the metro, and you're just gonna be like, oh, life really sucks. Like, yeah, because you're tuned to that frequency, baby. But I'm sure you've noticed when you're on that good frequency, in that good mood frequency, you're open and receptive to solutions. People enter your life and they just bring with them all of this good energy, good vibes, good solutions, good experiences, because you're listening to that good on Good Mood .1 FM. Which also brings me to the notion that we are like magnets. We attract the frequencies that we set our magnet to. We are radios, right? We are receptive, but we are also attracting. Bring it to me. Sorry, I don't know what that was. So if we go back to my friend who was worried about the end of the world, why was he worried about the end of the world? When I asked him, he said because he reads a lot of books by people, researchers, smart people, who've done research that shows and proves that things are getting worse and will only get worse. Instead of staring at the back of the elephant, which stinks, and it's got poop coming out of it, how about we shift our perspective and look at the front of this elephant called the truth about the end of the world. It could very well be true. It could be the end of the world. But then again, these authors, they want to make money. Obviously, you don't sell a book for nothing. This is like a shameless plug. I wrote a book. It's a young adult romance novel. It's amazing. It's called Lavender Kisses. Link in the description box if you want to check out a video about it or just check out the book on the website claudineaudigé.com, because that is my pen name, Claudine Audigé. Check it out. All right. Authors write to sell books, obviously. So they have an incentive to be outrageous in their claims. It sells more books. And what is more outrageous than negativity? That's what the news is founded on. They know bad news leads to more views, makes more money for them because of ads and things. Number 2, people who are writing these books already have a conclusion before they even begin most of the time, and they already have an internal frequency. They already are either pessimists or optimists. So when they are doing their research, since they are tuned to the frequency of color red, they're going to pick up on all of the proof around the world that, in fact, there is red. There is red over there. There's more red over here, and there's more red over there. And if you look around you, I'm pretty sure you're going to find some red. Yes, and then they put it all in one book, and you have the impression that, oh my God, there is red everywhere. We are surrounded. Life is over. Honey, there's red, but there's blue and yellow, and there's a lot. Shh, shh, shh. And the thing is that when you're tuned to a frequency, even if you want to find the opposite data, even if you want to be proven wrong, if deep down inside of you, you are still tuned to, I just know it. You know, a lot of people say that, oh, I knew it. Well, yeah. You knew it, so it happened. It's not that it happened and you knew it. You see what I mean? If you're looking for good news, but inside of you you're writing a book about bad news, you're going to have a little bit of a harder time because let's say it's the blue frequency, but you're on red frequency. It might be a little harder for you to see blue. You might see some purple. You might find some purple. Blue might be a little bit of a stretch. What's more, these books about the end of the world, they don't account for what we don't know. And we don't know what we don't know. I love that saying. I used to think it was annoying. But when you really think about it, it's actually the most liberating and beautifully optimistic sentence there is. Because what it's saying to us is that out of nowhere, solutions can come about, spring about. Blue might just appear out of nowhere. Someone with a blue dress might just walk into the room and now it was red everywhere, but now it's blue. Or someone might remove all the red, and replace it with blue. We don't know. For example, just like a lot of inventions that we are currently using today, iPhone, the internet, which was it's like these are byproducts even of other research. The person who made the internet wasn't trying to make the internet in the way that we use it today. It was more for military communication purposes, blah, blah, blah. The microwave also was a military experiment. I think LSD was also a military drug gone wrong, something like that. Penicillin, accident, right? Moldy bread. For example, there might be a kid out there right now with weird ambitions to turn, tree sap into Coca-Cola. And so he or she is performing all of these experiments, chemicals and solutions and liquids and bing bang boom, poof de poof, created a solvent that, dissolves plastic safely. Somebody might figure out how to burn trash without emitting any carbon fumes, without carbon emissions. Who knows? My goodness, The number of things we don't know, the number of experiments that are going on and scientists doing things, and there are people out there doing things. They're not actually working on a solution. Most of them are having fun or trying to do something else. In the case of the military, trying to destroy Earth, and they end up fixing it. Which is, I love the irony, and I think the universe loves irony as well. So that's what I mean. You don't know what you don't know, and these books don't account for it. And people with statistics and estimations of a future that's only one possibility out of an infinite amount of possibilities. Yeah, you're showing me one. I could fall down right now, but I could also keep walking. I'm just saying, it's based on a very limited perspective, small amount of information, doesn't take everything into account. It's statistically possible. So yeah, sure. Just like, yeah, we might be going down the road to a fiery burning hell and the earth is going to be one big bonfire. Maybe, but maybe not. What's the point of lingering on maybe yes? I prefer maybe no. I mean, the solution might be right under our nose, but if you don't know what it is, you're looking at it, but you're not receiving the information, or rather you're not decoding it because you don't know. So there are solutions around us. We just don't have the tools yet. But I believe, and that's where faith comes in, that we are given the tools incrementally over time. And like the series of events and reactions that happen for one person to learn information that teaches this person this, and that person discovers, and then they learn this, and then they watch a YouTube video, and then they try this, and then they call a friend, and that friend does this. It is a beautiful tapestry that we live in, and we are all interconnected, and we all affect each other in ways we don't even understand. And now somebody that, let's say you didn't know what a cucumber was, and you saw it, but you knew what a zucchini was. Aren't you going to think it's a zucchini? You're going to completely ignore the fact that it's actually a cucumber. It's a whole other thing. So there's things out there like that we've misnamed. We've seen this thing and we don't know that actually it has other properties. It can do other things. Or, like a flower that we had no idea could actually cure a certain type of disease in like a remote location in the middle of Canada or something. Who knows? If we are creative enough, you can see that there are so many perspectives, there are so many ways to approach every single subject, and so many scenarios that you can deduce. Okay, last little example, because it resonates with me. It might resonate with you, but it might not. Imagine that you are starving. You haven't had food in a long time, and you come to this building. You're on the ground floor. You've looked around. You can't find food. You've been looking for a long time. You're just like, I'm gonna die. I'm starving and I cannot find food. That is the channel you're tuned to. Can't find food FM. So of course you are not finding food. So what do you do in this energy, in this low vibration frequency? You go to a corner of this ground floor, you huddle up, and you just fall asleep. You're just ready to die. You're just like, it's over. But imagine instead you get this building and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna change my backpack. Check out the backpack video. Boop. Or boop. I don't know which side. If you want to understand that metaphor. You change your backpack and you're like, you know what? I don't know this building. Maybe there's food here. I've tried and I haven't succeeded, but maybe I will now. There is food out there. I will find some food. I will find free food. I will find some food. Now you're up and about. You're in the middle of the room and you're looking around. You're thinking, you're pacing. You're just like this energy inside of you of you will find food is keeping you up. It's like you have to. There's a janitor that walks by. Were you huddled up and passed out, you would have missed him. But the fact that you're up and looking, because you're on Finding Food FM, you cross the janitor and you ask him, I'm hungry. Is there food? Do you have food? Do you know where I can find some food, please? The janitor looks at you and says, actually, there was a conference or some kind of a meeting on the 4th floor and they had a buffet and they just left the food. We're going to clean it up soon. So if you want, you can run up there and get some food. Like, you look like you need it. Bada boom, boom, boom. Now that you were on Finding Food FM, you found the food. Maybe it sounds far-fetched to you. Maybe it sounds ridiculous. Maybe. Or maybe it's true. Relative truth. So how about we set our energies to possibilities, to potential, to solutions, to inventions that haven't been invented yet, to discoveries that haven't been discovered yet, to ideas that haven't been formed yet, to videos that haven't been published yet, to books that haven't been shared yet. And ask yourself from time to time, what radio station am I set to? What perspective am I lugging around? What's in my backpack? Again, with the backpack metaphor. Am I screaming hunger FM, lonely FM, ugly FM, stupid FM, problem FM, problems, problems, problems? Or am I tuned to what I want, my desires, what I'm looking for? Solution FM, beauty FM, satisfaction FM, appreciation FM, health FM, wealth FM, friendship FM, lover FM, or AM. I completely neglect the AM stations because I'm just more of a PM person. When I hear AM, I'm like, no. I try to set my tuner to happiness FM as often as possible. And I think if you too decide to reevaluate the backpacks you wear, the stations and the frequencies that you are subscribed to, in due time, you'll see a change. It starts within, and then it emanates from without. Really does, because I have tried to see that black and blue dress, and I really tried, because I saw it as white and gold. White and gold. Anyways, I really wanted to see it as blue and black, and I stared at it until I eventually finally saw it, and it like magically started to become bluer and blacker and bluer until it was dark blue and full on black, and I was like, whoa. How did I do that? Cool. I was dedicated to seeing it. I was determined. That's what I wanted to see, and that's what I saw. And that's why they say, seeing is believing. No. Believe it. You'll see it. It takes some time. There's a delay period. So patience. Patience, baby, patience. It's not easy. Trust me. I get so impatient. But I'm better. See, I'm going to drop that backpack of I am an impatient person in front of you. And I'm going to put in my fanny pack, or rather to keep with this metaphor, I'm going to change my station from Impatience FM to Patience FM. Fine, Patience AM. Let's give AM a bit of love. Fun. Anyhow, I don't know what you thought about this exploration, philosophical debate. Would love to hear from you and your perspective, your side of the elephant in the comments section. Don't be shy. Thank you so much for watching and for participating in this conversation. It's only a conversation if you speak too, so do not be shy. Comment section, come on. Sorry, I'm kissing you and I don't even know you. I don't even know if I have your consent, but I'm gonna send you kisses anyways. It's up to you to be receptive to them or not. Lots of love. Bye.